Welcome back, my fellow grieving friends. In this episode, I want to talk about 4th of July coming up this week or tomorrow, and also how to kind of prepare for that and handle that. So, welcome back, friends. In this episode, like I said, with 4th of July coming up, there's lots of times where you're invited places and maybe you don't want to go, and maybe you do kind of want to go, but also feel like, oh my gosh, what if I get there and I get stuck or trapped in a conversation, or inevitably, people say things that are cliche and make you feel worse. So that's what I want to talk about this episode. Now, I do want to start by saying I am offering a little mini course, if you will, and it's called Grief Doesn't Take the Summer Off. And it is three very short videos. They're about this length of my podcast, but I go way more in depth on this. And so I really invite you to go to catholicgriefcoach.com and to get those videos. It's $17. And again, I dive in so much more and I really help you get ahead of the cycle that you're going to be on these next few days or have been on. And I help you stop that for the next event that you have coming up. So again, catholicgriefcoach.com. And I really encourage you to grab those. They are super cheap right now. I have them on sale because it is summer. The price will be going up shortly. But I want you guys to be able to get that and get support and love this summer as there's so many events and activities and family reunions and things we get invited to, and we don't really know how to handle them when we are grieving. So, again, CatholicGriefCoach.com and go grab those for yourself. I'll also put them in the link in the show notes. And if you're on my email subscriber list, you get that as well there. So, but first, I want to talk about this episode, or I guess second, since I talked about that first. So I want to talk about um, just different events that come up and really what I have found to work pretty much for everybody I've ever coached, because our brain wants to spiral and go in all these different directions. And so I want you to think about your plans for 4th of July tomorrow. Or maybe you're listening to this episode later on and you're like, yeah, I have a family reunion coming up. Or for me, one of the things that kind of shocked me where somebody made a comment was at parent-teacher conferences for my kids. So anytime basically you leave the shelter of your house, you risk people saying things that are going to upset you or not saying things that will upset you. So I want to talk about the things first that they'll say that might upset you. So they might say things like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I heard about so and so. How did it happen?" Well, did you expect this? Well, they're in a better place. They would want you to be happy. They would want you to get out. They would want you to celebrate. So those are the things that feel just like I always felt dismissed when people said things like that because it was like they weren't really seeing what I needed. It was like they were uncomfortable. And so they were trying to get past the moment for them that was uncomfortable. They didn't like that feeling. And so then I felt dismissed and I felt like, okay, well, I can't talk to them. I can't really be like, yeah, I don't want to be here. Or I've just been crying in the car. Or I've been crying for the last week and this is about the best day I've had. And so I'm here, but I'm waiting for something to set me off, right? On the other side, if people don't say anything, if people don't acknowledge that gaping hole that you feel, that also hurts because you're like, do they not even notice that my dad's not here? Do they not care? Are they just moving past it? Is it forget about them? Have they forgotten about them? And so that hurts as well. And so when we go to any event, or I would even venture to say anytime we leave the house, sometimes within the house, sometimes my husband would say things like this to me with well intentions. He wanted to help me, but it made me feel worse. The best thing to do is to have a plan. And I know that I've talked about this on podcasts before, but it is so important. It's so important for you to take care of yourself. And by taking care of yourself, it's just having a plan. And I like to tell people have plan A, have plan B, and have plan C. Because plan A might be okay, I've changed my mind, I'm not going to go. So now I'm going to stay in the house, and this is what I'm going to do. And I want you to really think through that. I want you to think through, okay, I have frozen pizzas. That's what I'm going to eat if I feel like anything, or I'm going to grab, for me, whenever I'm kind of sad, it takes a lot of energy for me to want to eat. And so I typically, the only thing that sounds good to me is sweets. But I also know I don't want to overdo it on the sweets because then I feel bad later on that night. Like my stomach is upset, or I have a huge headache, or I just feel yucky and crappy the next day. So I want to plan it out and be like, okay, I'm going to have a pizza for lunch. For supper, I'm going to ask my husband to pick up this sandwich that I love. And then later on, I'm going to have this dessert. I'm going to ask one of my daughters to make chocolate chip cookies, and I'm going to have two of them at the most. So really think it out in your mind what plan A looks like if I'm going to stay inside and this is what I want to do. Maybe we'll have a movie night. If that's too overwhelming, I'm like, no, I think like I'll just have the kids go to bed early and read, and I'm going to go read in my bed because I just want to zone out. I don't want to deal with anything. Plan B could look like, okay, I want to go to the event. Maybe I don't want to go all day, but maybe I want to go to the evening portion of it. I'm going to drive myself so I can leave when I want to, right? Like have a plan within the plan. And then plan C could be maybe like a little bit of both, right? Where it's like, okay, actually I would say plan B would be all day at the whole event. Plan C could be a little bit of both, where it's like maybe I wanted to sleep in. I'm going to go to this activity, then I'm going to come home and we'll see how I feel. Maybe I'll go out for fireworks later on or something in the evening, right? But I like to plan different variations so that way I just feel safe no matter what. So if the plan changes, it's like, oh, okay, I already know what to do for that. Because if we don't have a plan, everything feels unsafe, everything feels scary, everything feels like an attack on our nervous system. And when we don't have a plan, or if we have one plan and then the plan changes, we feel that instantly come back up again. And then we just feel miserable and it can spiral into days of feeling stuck in that. And so I'm going to tell you my plans for this weekend and just kind of walk through again my variations of it. So it is supposed to rain on the 4th of July tomorrow. So, what I have planned for, if it is not raining, I'm going to take my kids to a parade at a small town near us that's at 10:30 a.m. Then we're going to go into town and we're going to spend, well, I was going to say we'll probably go to the library, but we won't because it'll be closed. Never mind. Just kidding. I already, I already had told myself that and I forgot as I'm going through my plan again because I don't have it in front of me. But we're gonna go do the parade. Then we're gonna pack lunches. I am going to. They're having like some water games and stuff at this small town, so we'll probably hang out there until 2 o'clock, 1:30, 2-ish. Then my husband gets done with work, so we're gonna go to the town that he's at, where his store is, and then we're gonna hang out there for the afternoon. I'm hopefully my husband and we're gonna put together more of his display cases, and then in the evening there's fireworks that are being set off. I'm also gonna pack along the kids' swimsuits and beach stuff just in case it's a nice day. I'll put in lawn chairs. I'll probably put in a picnic blanket. So that's plan A. Now, I'm anticipating it to rain all day. That's plan B. So, plan B, if it is raining, I'm going to sleep in, then I'm going to get up and exercise, then I'm going to shower, and I basically have until 2 o'clock when my husband closes his store to get into town. Then I'll go help him set his display cases. We'll grab something for supper, and we'll come home. We'll maybe do a movie night. If it's, again, this is my plan B where it's raining all day. So we'll do a movie night, go to bed. Maybe if it stops raining late in the evening, we can maybe stand out on our porch and see the fireworks from kind of far away from the town. But I'm not really counting on that because that's plan B when it's raining all day. Plan C is a little bit of both. If it's not raining, or if it's raining part of the day, then I just am going to plug in the parts that work. So let's say it's not supposed to rain till the afternoon, then I'm just going to plug in, we're going to go to the parade, and then we're going to go and help my husband set up display cases, and then we're going to go home and have movie night because probably all the fireworks will be canceled. So flip it around, right? Vice versa. If it's raining in the morning and not the evening, it's raining in the morning, I'm going to sleep in, exercise, shower, go meet up with my husband, do the display cases, and then fireworks in the evening. So I just want you to see how I have different variations of it. If it was, so later on in this month is my dad's death anniversary. And so then I like to really plan out the few days ahead of that, that day, and a few days after. And I really like to, again, just make a plan so I feel safe. I like to pause and ask myself, what do I need? How do I want to celebrate dad? How do I want to talk about him with my kids? Is there a certain thing, maybe like he loved Dairy Queen. So do I want to go get Dairy Queen? If I do I even want to eat Dairy Queen? Because ice cream doesn't always sit well with me. But do I want to have my kids eat it as we share memories, right? So I really played out in my mind. And I just want to say this to just say, like, again, there's no wrong way to do this. There is no wrong way for you to decide how to show up this summer. And also, just because that's what you decide to do this summer, this 4th of July, this family gathering, this death anniversary, doesn't mean that you have to do that every year. As time goes on, grief shifts and it changes. It's such a funny thing, grief, because it really is the same, but it's so different at the same time. And so I like to think of it as like the ocean, right? We can see the Atlantic Ocean and we can say, okay, it's the ocean. But this state over here might see calm waters, where this one over here might see raging waters. Oh my gosh, like it's such a windstorm. There's waves just crashing against the shore. So that's what I picture grief as, is it's just different for everybody, but it's the same underlying things. And so that is what I help you with. I help you walk through that. I help you recognize and see where your grief is in that day at that moment in time. And we start to plan out what is best for you, not what's best for the people around you to make them comfortable. What is best for you? And again, I just want to say, like, my grief summer series is, I think, is phenomenal, you guys. It is some of my best work. I'm super proud of it. I made it super short so you guys can just listen to it as you're driving to the beach or on your way to an event. You can play it as you are getting ready. And so it's giving you tools to walk you through this. And it goes so much deeper than all this. It's just like surface, what I've talked about today. So go to CatholicGriefCoach.com and sign up for that and get the tools that'll get you through the summer and any event after the summer. So, all right, you guys, I'm praying for you. You are so loved. We'll take the next steps together. God bless.